welcome to or back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lexi and this is my best friend Isabel.
Hi.
And we are answering all of your questions that you asked us on Instagram. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into that.
Yay!
So our first question is, what are college parties really like?
So I guess we'll talk about like pre-COVID, because like obviously they're really different now, so many restrictions. The frat houses are closed down, so like
Which is very disappointing.
Very disappointing. So we can talk about like pre-COVID, our first 3 years of college.
It's kind of nice because we stay on campus primarily and don't really go off, and I know a lot of schools really like go to bars and have stuff in their area, which we did not mention. If you are new here, we do go to High Point University where we are seniors, so we have been through a lot of this, but we don't really have a bar scene as much here. So we normally go to like frat houses, or we have these like centennials on campus that we go to. But lately, since we have to have a 1-to-1 ratio depending on how many people live in your house, we are not able to do that. So it has been very different, but we are making the most of it, and that is our big thing for the year, is making the most of the situation at hand, because it is not what we are used to, but you know, just gotta go with it.
I think like pre-COVID, if you want like the details, if you go to a frat house, you're gonna get hot, you're gonna get sweaty, there are millions of people in there,
Yes.
You're packed like sardines, it's dark, loud music. That's how our frat scene was like pre-COVID.
And it's so much fun, so we're
Yeah.
hoping we can get back to that second semester. So I guess that kind of covers what we do on the weekends, but also on the weekends we like to hang out in our living room and do homework, and we always go to get breakfast together in the mornings and talk about the night before, which is very interesting always.
Especially on like a Saturday morning, because Friday is a big night. I feel like a lot of people go out.
Yes, and it's a lot of fun. And also on the weekends, normally we do have some like sorority meetings, so that's pretty much what goes on the weekend. Tonight we are actually dressed up because we're going to get dinner and drinks because we are 21, so that is something new and exciting for this year. And honestly, I feel very lucky that we turned 21 when we did, because that could have been a lot harder had we not.
Yeah, I think because like she just turned 21 this summer. I got a little bit of it because I turned 21 in January, so there was more stuff for us to do, like for mixers and stuff. If you're 21, you're allowed to bring like a can of seltzer or something, so I was able to go to mixers and drink. But now it's like we're both 21, so it's like the dynamic duo is now both 21.
But we do not have mixers, which if you are not familiar with that or what that means, that's a sorority and a fraternity getting together on a weekend night to have some fun, you know. And there's themes.
The themes are the most fun part though. Like
honestly,
dressing up for the themes, I think is the most fun.
And covering another question about just Greek life in general and what it's like. That is a major benefit of being in Greek life, is you really do meet so many people, and boys, if you are looking for that.
We do a lot of stuff with the other fraternities. Not just party, we do a lot of philanthropy with them. We have like an event where we do like kickball. So all the fraternities come and they do that, but
and that's a lot of fun. And I actually don't know what we're doing about that this year yet.
I don't know.
Yeah, we will definitely during recruitment and stuff keep you updated on the situation, because I know you guys all love to see Greek life stuff, because not everyone gets that experience, and if you have, you like to live through us, and we love to share it with you. So also, recruitment is virtual this year, and I think every school at this point is doing it that way. So that's definitely going to be a major adjustment on our end, and also change the experience for the new girls coming through to get into sororities. So I at first was really nervous about the way that would end up, but now I actually participated in our open house that we had, and it was virtual, and I was really happy with the way that we got to interact with the girls. So I am more hopeful about that now than I was before, but I do feel bad that the new girls will not have the experience that we did when we went through.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just like, from what I've heard, we haven't done the virtual recruitment yet, it hasn't happened yet, but a lot of it's just like talking to the girls via like Zoom and stuff, which is you're still gonna have a genuine conversation with someone. I think like it's what you make out of it. So
definitely.
Recruitment will still be recruitment, it's gonna be fun.
If your school has not had recruitment yet and you are wondering if you should do it, obviously we both highly recommend that you go through the process. And even if you don't end up choosing to go Greek for whatever reason, you will definitely meet people along the way So just something really good to get yourself like out there, since we're not actually really out anywhere, but to at least like make those relationships, because I know it can get really lonely to feel like you're stuck in your dorm room, especially as a freshman when you don't really know anyone, just to make some sort of relationship regardless of what you choose to do. This is kind of hard, but what do you like and dislike about college? So we told you a lot of things that we like, because we like to have a good time and have a lot of fun doing so.
You get a lot of independence when you go to college. Yeah. I think the hard part is, for me at least, it's managing my money. I know like through high school, like your parents kind of just paid for stuff. You didn't really have to live on your own in high school. Like your parents paid for your food. I have a meal plan here, but like I still pay for snacks and stuff. So basically like managing my money from the job I had over the summer, it's so easy for me to just like go on and buy clothes, because I know my mom's not here to like ask me why I got another package in the mail. Literally. But I think that's definitely one of the hard parts for me personally, and I have to really budget. I literally have to write it down and budget my money for like everything, whether it's clothes, alcohol, sorority dues,
because that's a big one that people don't really realize going Greek, and something to definitely consider. So that's definitely a big one, and I'm trying to think of anything else that I dislike, because I feel like we don't really have.
I feel like we don't dislike. I mean, homesickness. I feel like that's a struggle through college, especially my freshman year. I got homesick. I mean, it's not really a problem anymore, but like I do excessively call my mom.
It's like hard to be away from home, just because obviously when you love your family, and pets are like obviously the hardest thing, well at least for us it is. Yeah. But it's hard for me because like I do love being home and miss my family, but I also love being here at the same time.
Because your house is almost like your family.
Yeah.
And that sounds like really boring and so cliche that I just said that, but like
it's true.
We do stuff with our house all the time. Like it's not, we're not ever bored. Like you can always go into someone's room and talk to someone. So yeah, we don't really dislike a lot about college.
And do you love your house? That was actually submitted by one of our roommates, and we love our house. We have been so lucky to live here. I've lived here for 2 years. She lived here for 3, because I lived in a different house my sophomore year. But we have been so lucky to live with so many of our best friends over the past 3 years. And our school really set us up well with this like living situation that we have. And we still promise we will be doing a house tour.
We're gonna do a house tour. We have to get everyone together.
Yeah, and we are still putting up finishing touches. We just hung some stuff on our 2nd floor, which is where she lives. Again, I live on the 3rd floor if you haven't seen my room tour. But we will further show you the full setup of our house. But yes, we do love them very much. So another question is college as hard as your teachers in high school say it will be?
I would say the workload surprisingly isn't as hard as we thought it'd be, or I thought it'd be, but I think it's like the time management. You have in high school, you're so structured. In my high school, we had like periods every like hour or something. Here you could have like 1 class one day, 2 classes, or 3 classes another day. So it's kind of like managing your time and managing when you're gonna do your homework, when you're gonna go out. I think that's the hard part of college. It's different for every major. I'm an elementary ed major. So it's a lot of outside work.
And I agree with that too, because like she was saying, in high school you have like study halls and like time that is given for you to actually like do your work. So I think the big reason that a lot of people, and even I freshman year, started to fall behind is just realizing like nobody's going to tell you to get this done. Nobody's going to ask you if you submitted it. Nobody's going to worry about it. So it's time management, also like getting yourself organized and figuring out like how to best do that, whether it's an agenda, task list, like having friends in your class that you text just to keep each other on track. That's probably the biggest thing that's helped me.
You're gonna have work, and you're gonna also, you don't want to be cooped up in your room though, like every single day, and not experience the social side of college. I feel like that's so important, is to have a social life in college. Like go out, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I'm saying it like you need to go out, make friends. You can't just be cooped up in your room, because I think that almost causes you to stress more.
So the next one, do guys actually want a relationship or just a hookup?
I think it's different for both of us, because she's been in a relationship since freshman year. I was in a relationship for like 1.5 years in college, and then we broke up. I guess we can both give our sides. Like guys, they come into college either with a high school relationship or they come in single. If they come in single, they don't want a not all guys.
Yeah.
But from what I can tell, guys don't want a relationship freshman year of college. They want their freedom. They want to just hook up with all the girls they can. But then I feel like junior and senior year, they're kind of like, they're done with that scene. It gets boring for them. I feel like they kind of want a relationship unless they're already in one or they just got out of one.
Well, my thing is, sorry any guys that are watching this, I do think guys mature a little bit slower. Actually, it is, I'm a science major, it is a little scientifically proven that that is the case, but regardless, I think that is kind of the reason that more girls want a relationship and guys are just out to have a good time. And
girls are too, though.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. There are a lot of girls that just want that.
I came into college just wanting to have a good time my freshman year. Ended up getting cuffed the spring of my freshman year. I was a junior when we broke up, so I was like, now I just want freedom. So it totally depends on the situation.
And honestly, like, it really depends on like what people are used to and the friend group that boys get into, because some boys obviously think it's cool to play the field and other boys realize that being in a relationship gives you a lot of benefits. So I would love to hear a guy's perspective, and that was something we were talking about earlier, is having some boys answer your questions, because this is like from our view that we think that this is the way it happens.
But they could have a totally opposite view, and they could have legitimate reasons for why they act the way
could be the ones. And the other thing with guys is they sometimes want relationships and they act like they're a player because it's cooler that way, and then they can't get rejected.
Especially if they're in a frat. There are also some frats that are like, you know that all the guys in that frat are cuffed. But then there are also frats that are like, every guy in that frat is a player. Boys totally go with their group. They're so influenced by their group.
They do, and that is definitely the case. But we are going to work towards getting answers from boys for you guys.
Panel answering like the juiciest questions.
So honestly, comment on this video and watch out for my polls on Instagram for that, because that'll be a good one. So this is actually something that we talked about when we saw the question is there any mean girls in college like that act like they're popular like in high school? And that was interesting for us to like kind of think about, and we kind of came up with that the thing in high school is everyone's kind of going after the same things and titles, and in college really everyone's in like different majors and clubs and trying to like win different positions or be the most popular in like sorority or be close with a lot of guys in a fraternity. So nobody really gets to be like the most popular.
Compared.
Yeah, compared is probably a better word, because it's just the nature of everything you're doing really doesn't let that happen.
Yeah. And it's feel like, I know in my high school a lot of it was like, oh, if you got invited to parties, there was like a solid group who like partied a lot. They're like the popular group, and that was in high school. In college, everyone goes to parties. Everyone's going to a frat. So, in my opinion, there's no popularity in college.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's not a thing.
So, the next question was, what's a typical day like in college? So, since we have different majors, we have a little bit different outlooks on that.
So, I'm an elementary ed major. So, I'm in student teaching right now. So, usually a typical day is I'll wake up around like 7:50. And I'll go on our Microsoft Teams, and we have a kind of team meeting. I'm placed in a kindergarten class, so I'm student teaching in kindergarten. We do like our meeting, and that's from about 8 to 11. Now that's not every day, but that's like usually one of my typical days. It's usually 2 or 3 times a week. And then I'll usually have a break, get lunch, get Starbucks. Then I'll go to like usually one more class. I usually only have 1 or 2 classes a day. The number of classes gets decreased for me every year. So I'll go to class, I'll get lunch, then I'll come and do homework, and then we usually end up watching a movie like during the weekdays, or if it's like a Thursday or Friday, we'll go out. I feel like now my major's more relaxed.
Definitely as you get older, it does get a lot easier, and it might also be a part of just like getting used to things, but also you're finally doing exactly what you want to be doing. Because I know like freshman and sophomore year, a typical day for me was much crazier, and as a science major I had like long labs,
A lot
every
of gen
day.
eds too.
Yeah, gen eds, which are like your requirements your school wants you to have to give you your major. So as a science major, I was taking like history and foreign language and all of those fun things. But now I really get to like go to the classes that I want to take. Like Isabel said, we do obviously like go to Starbucks at least once a day, get lunch, and then sometimes at our house we try to make dinner together and hang out. But when we're watching like movies or hanging out, we normally have our laptops open, which helps us like to still socialize but get stuff done. So these two questions kind of go together, and they are, is college going to be fun this year with everything going on, and are you enjoying being back? So kind of tying the two together. College is definitely going to be different this year with everything going on, but like we said before, we are going to make the most of every moment, and so far we are enjoying it because we have been doing that.
Never say no, that's our motto.
Yes, that is, especially as a senior. You gotta just go for it and do what you gotta do and have a good time.
Have a positive attitude.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have fun at college if you're sulking about all the rules and restrictions. Like, that's not gonna make it fun. You have to make the most of the situation, make the most of your time here. Just live it up. L-I-V-I-N. Livin'.
I was like, what are you
That's what I
calling?
feel like. Like, if you have a negative attitude, you're not gonna have fun. And that's just the truth. If you're gonna have a good attitude about everything, like we're going out for drinks tonight, and then we're gonna go back to our centennial and have an appropriate gathering.
Yes. And I know
it'll still be fun.
And it will be. And we are going to, again, make the most of it. And I know it's easier said as upperclassmen because we do already have established friend groups, but that's why as a freshman you have to realize everyone's in your position, everyone wants friends. It's so not weird to reach out to people. So just like go for it.
On your hall.
We literally became friends because of a group meet. They had the whole freshman class in, and one of us asked a question.
I think Lexi asked me about housing because I had asked a question in the group meet about housing, and Lexi answered it. She DM'd me and answered it.
Like individually.
Individually.
And we've been friends ever since.
Ever since freshman year, we're on the same hall. I think about the times back in our freshman hall that we would literally only have like 4 people in our room, and we were having the best time.
And we didn't even think about it. And that's another big thing. Like before, the amount of times that it was just a couple of us and we had a great time, and now we're like, oh, we can only have like 14 people over to our 7-person house. Like, we used to do it all the time and not think about it. So don't let the rules like make you think that everything is different, because some things you're doing are exactly the way you would have before, but with the rules it seems like you're being forced into it. I think that is it for our back to school Q&A during coronavirus, because some of our answers changed because of that. So we will definitely be doing this again if you all enjoy it. And if you did enjoy it, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. And we'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.